Well, it's been a long time since I made a video. I don't think I have quite a following. That's okay. I wanted to post a video more about the subject of my journey with becoming a vegan, and I can't tell you how ecstatic I am. I've only been a vegan since November of 2017. And I probably could have posted this days ago, and I could hold up a hard copy, which would maybe emphasize it even more. But the reason I'm posting this video is I call myself a non-expert vegan, sometimes the almost vegan, because I realize that you can't. It's a little bit difficult to become 100%, but with the choices that you make, you can get pretty close. And I want to just recap a little bit. The two things, main things I want to talk about in this video is just a recap of why I did this. And the second thing is my vital, some of my vital medical stats. I'm just elated how they came out. And we have to do this where I work. We are required every year to do a health screening and give our information to our union, basically, where I work. And if you choose not to do that, that's fine. You get money deducted from your pay. So we're in that age. So that's the two main things I wanted to talk about. Recap a little bit of my journey, and then till now, just recently, days ago, my awesome medical statistics, medical stats, vital records, if you will. And because I want to emphasize that I'm a guy who didn't have extreme health urgencies, but I got into an alkaline diet for a lot of different reasons. And although my health conditions weren't anything that were urgent, looking back, it's just great. The weight I've lost, the numbers that are better, like my cholesterol, my blood pressure, and all those kinds of things. So just to recap, I initially got into doing this because my mother, one big reason was she came down with breast cancer. It wasn't tumors. I think it was, for lack of a better understanding on my part, it was before tumors. It was metastasized areas of the breast that possibly could turn cancerous. So she resorted to a mastectomy. She's doing fine now, from what I can tell. But that's just enough to, say something to anybody. It's like, wow, here we go again. That's what I was thinking. Friend, family, here we go again. The same crap, And so I think that got the ball rolling for me then. As I said in previous videos, I started thinking, what is this alkaline diet and so forth. And I started in with purple carrot, actually doing the Tom Brady diet. With purple carrot, you can kind of pick your plan of a general purple carrot regimen, recipes, or you can do his. I ended up doing his, and I am off that now, but that's what got me started. And man, I would recommend that to anybody. I've evolved in my thoughts about food since then, but that really was another thing that helped me get going. So, along with that, start reading a lot of articles, seeing a lot of YouTube videos of doctors talking about the links to between your diet and all these serious diseases, and how much we're not eating the natural foods we should be eating. And if we would be eating, plant-based, much fruits and vegetables and way less meats, how much that starts to reverse things in your body. And so, as I started out saying, I didn't have urgent health problems But nonetheless, I am, let's see, I'm 48 years old. I became a vegan when I was 47. I started the alkaline portion of the diet April 18th, 2017. Like I said, became a vegan later that year in November 2017. I've continued with veganism. I didn't do it right away. I started going alkaline, eating more fruits and vegetables. Then for some reason, I started going down that journey. Hey, I'm thinking, do I want to keep eating meat? Chicken, fish, stuff like that. It just got to the point where I saw myself saying, hey, I can't ignore the fact that maybe there is truth in all this, in the links to all kinds of cancers and so forth. So to make a long story short, I ended up going vegan, and I'm not coming back. That's my lifestyle, and the only way that I get any kind of dairy or meat or anything like that is if I get a slight bit lackadaisical in making choices. But I never go out and have anything directly meat or dairy, and I have become very picky when I go out to eat, that I even mostly ignore getting something like a pasta that will be made with milk and so forth. And if I have pasta, it's usually at home where it's plant-based, it's dairy-free and gluten-free. So staying away from gluten, white flour, wheat flour, meat, dairy, keeping and refined sugars, keeping them all from no to low. And let's go more on the no part, none. That's where I want to be. That's where I am. And I'm happy to say that recently, my cholesterol is down to 148, and that is without medication. I had been on cholesterol medication for the better part of 10 years, from when I was like 37 till I was 47. And for some reason, I was taken off of it. And when I checked my cholesterol back in April of 2017, which is when I started this journey on the alkaline diet, my weight back then was 194 pounds, which was actually a little lighter for me. I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'9", but all through my life, I had this feeling of, I want to get bigger and things like that, and lifting weights at different times in my life and all that kind of a thing that guys do. I still do exercise, kind of sporadically, but I do it. But I've obviously changed my eating ways, and I don't think the same at all about protein or anything like that. Proteins, especially from animal sources and so forth, not good for you. So anyone who's a vegan out there and has been a vegan way longer than me knows a ton more than I do. I am just at the beginning stages, and I'm realizing this. Which a little, by the way here, I'd like to say that a lot of the vegan videos on YouTube are awesome. They're an awesome inspiration. Like Mike the Vegan, like Happy Healthy Vegan. Those are two great channels. There's so many more I've been watching. Fully Raw Christina, she's got an awesome channel. Lots of inspiration there. OK Raw with John Kohler. Fully Christina, I forget exactly her how to pronounce her last name. I got her book, excellent recipe book, as is Tom Brady's book, excellent recipe book for an alkaline diet. And I'd like to also say, I'm kind of weaving in and out of here with subjects, but that's okay. I have evolved since I got on the Brady diet back when at the inception of, like when I started, on changing my diet. And I would cook with oils and so forth because a lot of his recipes call for that. I have since moved away from that. I don't use oil at all. If I ever ingest oil, it might be from a product that has a little bit of olive oil in it, and I should try to even eliminate that. I've eliminated much of my salt intake, so all those kinds of things. So, as I started to say a little bit ago, back in 2017, 2017, April, I weighed 194 pounds. I now weigh, you can't see me fully obviously, but I now weigh like around 152. I probably would have been bothered by that when I was young. I love it now. I have so much energy, and it has helped me so much at work. I have a kind of a physical job. I worked at a grocery store for 28 years, more than that actually. I have more stamina and strength and energy than I have ever had, I think. Even when I was young, at least as much, if not more. Although I have mentioned to you out there that at the start of this video that I didn't have any urgent health problems. That might be true, but nonetheless, my health issues were definitely elevated to where they shouldn't be. Back in 2016, I was looking at my old health records with my previous doctor, and I weighed 204 pounds. If I recall, at one point in my life, even further back, I may have weighed around 207. It was between 204 and 207 that was my top weight. Way too much. As I just said, to repeat again, now I weigh 152. I just went to my doctor's about a week ago. My cholesterol is 148. Unbelievable. Back in, again, April of 2017, it was, what was it? It was 209, I believe. 209. And as I said to you earlier, I was on cholesterol medication. I think it was Simvastatin. That's what I was on. I was on that or something like that. I think that was the main drug, statin I was taking for the better part of 10 years. I am no longer on medication anymore for cholesterol. Probably lucky I didn't have diabetes because we have it in our family. That's another whole topic of conversation because most, if not a ton of you out there know or are finding out as I am that diabetes and all these type of health ailments, I really don't know if they're genetic. They might be in your family, but genetics don't dictate diseases. It's what you do. It's what we do individually with our behaviors in our lifetimes now that makes the biggest factor and impact on whether we have disease or not. And I found that out just with my weight, just with my blood pressure, and just with my cholesterol. And as I said, my cholesterol went down to 148. It was back in 2017, 209. Becoming a vegan, obviously, it dropped even lower. And I'm going to be interested each year to see what the effect will be. There are so many videos online that you can watch where doctors talk about this. I can't remember the gentleman's name. He was an older guy. He was talking about being heart attack proof. You can look that keyword up on YouTube and you'll find it, being heart attack proof or something like that. I didn't even listen to the whole thing. I listened to enough of it where I could see that I will listen to all of it because it was so interesting. And he was talking about what we do and what we eat that dictates how our arteries function, whether they clog up or not. So those are my main two emphasis points on posting this video. As I say, I kind of more talk in generalities and commentaries. The videos that I mentioned are excellent to me because like Mike the vegan, he posts tons of studies. He looks like he does a lot of research or whatever, has a lot of research given to him because his videos are excellent. He posts specifics and numbers. And the thing is I can see it in me. That is what's so exhilarating. I want to encourage anybody to, as Christina said, Fully Raw Christina, don't wait until there is a health urgency so bad that you have to do something. If you are able to change before then, I think more often than not, most people will find what I did. After a while, you don't miss sugary foods. You don't miss high protein diets with meat and fish and eggs. You won't want any of that. So I encourage anybody to do it in steps, as she said. Some people go cold turkey. Okay, if that's you, that's fine. You could consult your doctor, and I think, hey, that would probably be great too. However you do it, I say do it. And I'm just posting this video for myself and just to hopefully inspire other people too, because I ain't never going back to a Western diet, to an artificial, unnatural diet. I never saw myself going this way, and I look back to most of my life, and I ate bad most of my life. And the changes that I've made this time are for good, and they will continue to evolve down that vegan, plant-based journey. As I started to say, the people that do eat meats, I can understand, and there's no reason to have anybody against anybody who does that. I think if you're a person that even eats meat, if you limit it and you get the best meat possible, the non-conventional farming type of meat, that's the way to go. That's what Brady's diet was, and maybe still is. But he claimed he ate 20% vegetables and 80% lean meat. So he would eat duck sometimes. He would eat wild salmon, because I don't think farm fresh is good of all the stuff they put in it. He would eat, I guess, totally grass-fed beef. You could get bison and animals that are out there in nature that are grazing, that are not all cooped up in CAFOs and so forth, just like the cows that are non-conventionally farmed. They're let out there to graze, and they're not kept pregnant, I suppose, to produce more milk and all this kind of stuff. But I'll tell you what, if you find yourself wanting to go more like I did, it's almost like I still can't believe I went that way, but I did. And you want to go down that road of not eating meat, I can't tell you how exhilarating it feels to not eat dairy, meat, and you don't miss it. I don't miss the sugary pastries and all that kind of stuff. If I eat any kind of sugar, it's fruits, vegetables, stuff like that. Fruits have their natural sugars. I think there's a myth out there. People like to say, no, it's sugar. Well, I disagree, and you can find your own way on this, but eating whole plants, whole foods, whole fruits, you're getting the sugar and the fiber that is in the whole food, the product. You're not getting the extracted, refined sugar. That's the problem. So I'm going to sign off here, but I would reiterate and just say, go for it. You won't believe how you'll feel after a while. And I think if I can do it, I don't know, I believe a lot of people can do it. Anybody can do it that wants to. So again, I would recommend Fully Raw Christina, John Kohler's OK Raw channel, all these channels. So I am just so happy myself about my blood pressure is now way better too. Forgot to mention that, because it used to be like, I don't know what it was, like let's say 130 or 140 maybe, over 80, things like that. It might not be that horrible, but it's not that great. When I got in my doctor's office this time, they took it 2 times, and one was right after I got in. And I think it's always a little elevated after you are maybe you go somewhere, you're not rested and so forth, blah 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 blah. And so it was like 160 over 80, and I'm thinking, wow, you know what's apparently that's normal. Then they took it a little later, and it was down to what it was before, like not long ago. It was like 117 over, or yeah, 117 or 118 over 80. So, you know, excellent. So anybody who wants to go on a alkaline or a plant-based diet or a vegan, man, I say go for it. So I will be signing off for now. As they all say, if you like the video, I don't know how much this has to offer, but hopefully just a little inspiration. And so if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to, because I plan on posting more as I garden and stuff like that. So take care.